So just a little review in parabolas. Parabola shape looks like that. Keeps on going outwards. It never goes straight up and down. Okay, some people are drew parabolas like U's. Okay, that is not a parabola. It will never go straight up and down because then it will be not a function. It won't even be a function anymore. So, what will the plus 2 do to a graph? Moves it up 2. So same graph moved up 2. With the 4 in the front, okay, it grows 4 times as fast. So it just looks really skinny. It becomes skinny. This is all review. What will this do to the graph? Having the x minus 2 moves it 2 to the right. Okay. And then we can start making combinations. Okay, this will move it 3 to the left and 2 down. So 3 to the left, 2 down, and then you'll have your parabola. 6 to the left, 3 up. Okay. We'll make it wider. Okay. So 6 to the left, 3 up, and it'll be wide. It's growing half as fast is what you want to think about it. So the sides aren't going up as quickly. It's growing half as fast. So think about the number, the A value, as how fast it's growing. Now you see, if you remember graphing this stuff, it was a lot easier when we got into this vertex form. You see how easy it was to say, oh, let's just move that graph 2 to the right. Oh, move that graph that way. We can graph these really fast when it's in this format. So that's why we took the time to learn how to change it into that format. Okay, it gave us the vertex. So if we're in this format, we know the vertex is -3, -2. And there was another formula that gave us the vertex, but this turned to be, when we're graphing, this turns out to be a lot more effective. So we know the vertex right away. -6, 3, that's the vertex. So we did this, we got to this vertex form by completing the square. Trying to find that missing piece. Okay. What would fill in that missing piece? Okay. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 would complete that square. Okay. And there's a way to figure out this number without using nice fancy boxes, but visually that's what we're doing. Once it's written in this format, we can simplify it to this. X plus 3 quantity squared, that's part of the vertex form. It's being able to write it as something squared. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so this is what we're going for all our graphs. The A gives us a behavior that's opening up, opening down. So A positive opens up. A negative opens down. The vertex is at H comma K. And it's important to remember that this is a minus in front, right? So when this part here is minus, it's a positive HK. If you see X plus 3, you know the vertex is negative. So it's kind of the opposite number you see here. You see a minus, it's really a positive number here. If this was plus H, then you know it'll be a negative. And the axis of symmetry is simply X equals H. It's just the first number. But it's a vertical line, so it's X equals, because vertical lines are always X equals. that up. Let's go back to 2. Chapter 6. When do we have the quadratics? Chapter 5. I remember when we did that. Partial expressions? No. That wasn't it. Ah, there it is. Nope. Bear with me. Cancel. That one. Alright. Alright. Yeah. So, changing the A, opening up, opening down, positive, negative. Changing the H, move it left and right. So again, when it's mine, oh yeah, I got on animate there. And then when we have the K, it moves it up and down. Always be keeping that in mind. If I change one number, what does that do to the whole graph? Alright, there we go. Alright, so bulk of your work will focus on, okay, how do we get that into the vertex form? So you want to write it as, again, something like this. Okay. Your homework will ask you what's the vertex, what's the axis of symmetry. You get all that information by changing this to vertex form. Okay. Again, the vertex will be just whatever h and k turn out to be, and the axis of symmetry will be x equals whatever h is. Okay. That's it. Okay, so we got to remember how to complete the square. Okay. So what we want to do is look at, okay, what number would complete this square? You're always looking at the x squared and the 14. How can we complete that square? Okay. I mean, we want to write it as x plus something squared. So what we did is, there's some directions over here, we took half of this number, the b, and squared it. So half of this number and squared is 7 squared is 49. Okay. Now 53, to get from 49 to 53 we need to do what? Add, yeah, 4 more. So these two lines are equal. All I did is I did half of b, squared it, got 49, and I need to be equal to the top, which is 53, so I added 4 more. And now I can rewrite this as x plus 7 squared, and let's bring down the plus 4. And so half of b squared. Notice how the a here is just 1. There is no number there, so technically the a is 1. So our vertex is where? Vertex is hk, negative 7, comma 4. So remember, this is a positive. Vertex means it's negatives. And then your axis of symmetry will be x equals negative 7. So if I had to do a rough sketch of this, alright, x equals negative 7, so negative 7 is right here. Okay, there's the middle of your graph. It's symmetric, half on each side. My vertex starts at 4, so I say that's 4. There you go. Okay. Opening up or opening down? Oh, yeah. A is positive 1, so it opens up. And you can use your calculators to plug in some more points to make this more accurate as needed. Remember, if you find a point on this side, it's symmetric, so you get that side for free. Buy one, get one free. So plugging in just 2 points you'll have 5 points total. That's more than enough. And we'll practice a few of those. So it's a little bit easier when there is no number in the front here. That does make it a little bit easier. Okay. All right. So sometimes there is no number in front. We just have to factor it out. No matter what, we have to factor it out. Even if it doesn't come out as a perfect number, we get fractions. We still have to factor it out. So I'm going to take it out here. We'll have 9x plus 33. Same idea as before. Okay. So, did I do that right? No, I didn't. No one caught it either. Try that again. What's wrong? 12x. You guys all saw it. You didn't say anything. I'll remember that. I'll walk by, look at your papers. No, it looks fine. Mm-hmm.
Feels like a Tuesday.
Alright, here we go. Try it again. Alright, half of 12 is 6 squared? 36. Right, but it needs to be equal to the top, so what do I need to do? Minus 3. So 36 minus 3 is 33. Got to keep it equal. Okay. So we're doing the same thing, it's just we got this 3 on the outside lingering. Okay. So I'm going to write this as x plus what squared? X plus 6. And we got that minus 3 still there. Notice how we have these extra parentheses because there's a number on the outside. Okay, just distribute it in. So I'll have 3 times x plus 6 squared, distribute it in, minus 9. Multiply, multiply. Vertex is what? Axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry is? Alright, and be careful, do say x equals negative 6. Because it is a line. A line needs a variable. Okay? You can't say y, because a y equals negative 6 would be horizontal. So it needs to be x. That's the vertical line. Okay? A value is 3. What does that do to the graph? Is it wider or skinnier? Skinnier, opening up or opening down? Up. Okay. So we know a lot about the graph before we actually start plotting points or doing anything else. We know what's going to look like. Okay. All right. Yeah, do a few more. Let's do one with a negative. Not that it makes it any more difficult. Just watch your signs. Okay, go ahead and write that down. Maybe do the first step. Go ahead and do the first step. Factor out that negative 2 and stop. Okay, so you have to factor out a negative 2 here, right? So make sure you take out a negative. That's going to be our a value. So we got x squared. What comes after that? Minus 2x. Minus 2. So one thing different between the last one and this one is just watch your signs, watch your negatives. Everything else is identical, so we can carry on. So negative 2. X squared minus 2x, okay? Half of negative 2, negative 1, square it, positive 1, okay? Match the top, we got to do minus 3. So now this part, that equals what? X minus 1 squared. Bring down the negative 3. And lastly, just multiply it in. So equals negative 2 x minus 1 quantity squared minus 6. Positive 6. So again, watch the signs. Negative times a negative, little things. Realize, how does that one little negative change your graph here? Okay, so the vertex is going to be what again? Vertex is what? 1 comma 6. All right, 1 comma 6. So that's the vertex. Opening up or opening down? Yeah, down, because this is negative. Now realize, if you just missed that one little negative and you put minus 6, now your graph is way down here and doing this instead of being up here and doing this. So don't be satisfied. Well, I got pretty close. I just forgot a negative. That changes everything. One negative changes everything. Any question? Yes. Half of 2 is 1. And half of 2 is 1. Well, technically, yeah, half of negative 2 is negative 1. I guess you want to look at it that way. But it's correct. Yeah, half of negative 2 is negative 1. Just remember, here at this point, just change the sign. So if it's a negative 1 here, it's positive here. Okay, it's whatever number is after the negative sign, not including the negative sign. It's after the negative sign. Okay, lastly. Okay, go ahead and factor the GCF out here. After all that work, the first step right here is where, if there is a mistake, is where it's going to be. So don't take it lightly. Don't say, oh, it's just GCF, it's just factoring. That's really where the most mistakes happen. So be very careful. Go. So we'll have what? What will be here after the x squared? So what can I put here that when if I multiply it back together, it'll equal negative 6? 12x, right? Positive or negative? Positive. So yeah, negative 1/2 times 12 will give us the negative 6. So yeah, taking a 2 out, right? We took a 2 out of here. It took half. It's kind of counterintuitive. We took a 2 out. It divided everything by 2. Right? 4 divided by 2 is, yeah, and so on. So when you take just a regular 2 out, it's like dividing. When you're taking a fraction out, it's kind of like multiplying. Take a half out, it multiplies it by 2. So take a half out, it's going to multiply it by 2. 16, and then careful with the sign, positive. You can always redistribute it just to check. Again, this is where we see most of the mistakes. It's just that right there. So be careful. All you have to do is this. Does it check out? Does it check out? Does it check out? You know, you can make absolutely sure it's going to be right after this, or if you just kind of guess and don't check it, you might have a lot of ugly stuff afterwards, and it might all be wrong. So you're doing a lot of work for nothing. So mental check will go a long way here. Let's finish it up. x squared plus 12x plus what? 36. Okay, so what do I got to do to get to 16? Minus 20. Okay. So this trinomial is the same as x plus 6 quantity squared. And then distribute. So we got negative 1/2 x plus 6 squared plus 10. Plus 10. There. What's the vertex? Negative 6 comma 10. And what's the axis symmetry? Okay. And the full proper way of saying this is x equals. The vertical lines are always x equals. There we go. So that's what you guys will be practicing here. That's what you'll be practicing. Alright. I think that's about it. Yeah. Let me pass that out. We'll get started. We will be doing some graphing as well. Okay. Actually, want to do the graphing now? Let's just do the graphing right now. I'll just have you guys no, I need to pass it out because it's actually number 13 from the homework. So let's put that on pause and we'll come back to it. Alright, so based upon what we already did on our warm-up, on the other piece of paper you have all the work shown. So on here I just want to see the vertex form. Alright, so you'll write x plus 7 quantity squared plus 4 write out vertex colon, so we'll say negative 7 comma 4. Okay. Axis O symmetry. Okay. X equals negative 7. Okay. And the direction is this opening up, opening down? So you're looking at the A value. In this case, the A value is positive 1, so it opens up.
Yes.
So it asks for 3 specific things. So you really have 4. You have the vertex form plus those 3 specific things for each. So that's all you're going to write on this, on the worksheet. You're just going to write the answers, and all the work will be on another piece of paper. Okay? Any questions about 1 through 12? I'm going to look at, let's see here, get you started on number 9. Just want to get you started on 9. Take a look at that. And just watch up here, write it down later. You have to factor out that 3. Now, by now, most of you are okay with this. Some of you say, but wait, not perfect. It doesn't go in, so that's okay. You'll have a fraction. Okay? This problem is not harder because it has a fraction. I don't want you saying it's different. Well, that's going to be more difficult. No, it's from 5th grade. We can do it. Don't make a big deal out of it. But that's all. That's what will happen on these. Okay, so we'll have x squared plus 2x plus 1. So what do we have to add to 1? 1 to get to negative 7/3. I'll let you figure out that fraction, okay? But yes, it's okay, it's a fraction, don't change anything. Again, you won't have this work on this paper, I'm just writing it here. You'll have all this on the other piece of paper, just the final answer, vertex, and so on. Okay? So there will be fractions on here, and there will be fractions on your tests and quizzes. Don't skip them and say, well, I don't want to do them, and on Monday you're like, can you do all the fraction problems for me? I couldn't quite get that 5th grade math. Okay, 4th grade, whatever it is. Don't make excuses for yourself. Just do the same steps. You know, it might be uncomfortable at first. As soon as you do it a few times, you'll be fine. But if you're avoiding it and just waiting for me to do it for you or somebody else to show you, you don't need that. You can do it on your own. Okay? All right. Get that. Go to So again, for something like 13, you'll need to factor out the 2. Yeah. I need this to be what number? Plus what? Plus what? 4. Okay? So minus what? It's 3/2. Okay. If you need to, verify in your calculator. And then we can finish it. So we have what? X minus 2 quantity squared minus 3/2. So that's 2x minus 2 quantity squared minus 3. In a calculator, what would you punch in order to get this answer? How can you quickly just punch something in to get that, to know what goes right here? So 5/2 minus this number. Okay, so if you top minus bottom, you'll get that number. You just want to put 5/2 minus 4, you'll see negative 3/2. Okay. Again, I don't want you saying this is more difficult because I have to do a fraction. Just put it in your calculator, it'll show you the exact number you need to write down. Or if you can do it in your head faster, that's good too. Okay. But nothing more than that. Okay? And then we can go and graph that. So vertex is at 2, negative 3. Axis of symmetry, x equals negative 2. This is opening up. Alright, so 2, negative 3. What's the y-intercept? Do you remember what the y-intercept is? C value right there. So I got that. I got the axis of symmetry, so I know it's going down the middle here. I know I got the y-intercept is 5, so I got another point on the other side for free. I could plug in positive 1 just to see what I get, so I get an accurate number here, so it doesn't look off. Plug in 1, I'll get 1 squared is 1, times 2 is 2. 2 minus 8 is -6. -6 plus 5 is -1. So you'll have 5 points, and then you can draw it. Remember, it's a parabola, not a U, not a V. Okay, so it's curved down here at the bottom, and is not straight up and down here. Okay, it should be going out ever so slightly, still be going outwards. Never straight up and down. There you go. Again, all this will be on the other piece of paper. Okay, actually, all this, and I'll see this on your actual worksheet. Vertex form with the information, also that it's opening up. But since we're graphing it, it'll be obvious. All right, this may take some time. Write it out neatly. Hey, don't rush through it. Promise. You start from the very beginning of this chapter, being very detail-oriented and finishing all your work. Things will be very good. Do not procrastinate till Sunday night or Monday morning and say, I don't get it. Okay? You got to spend the time, and it will work for you. All right. Good luck.